Hey there, dancers. So this is for all of my Primary B Ballet students. We're going to do about a 40 to 45 minute video, just like we normally would do for our class here in the studio. This video can also be done by any beginner ballet students between the ages of 6 and about 8 or 9 years old. So what we're going to do today is start the same way we normally would do here in the studio. We're going to begin on the floor with some stretches. We'll go into our little bit of work in the center here with some pliés, tendus, releves, dégages, all of those types of things, and we'll try to incorporate some of the down the line work that we do in class, but make it a little bit more friendly for our smaller spaces at home. So if you are able to, I would say the best thing to do is put on your normal dance clothes, your tights, leotards, skirts, of course your ballet shoes. If you don't have that or you grew out of it already, which can happen, I know you guys are growing so quickly, you can definitely also do this class in bare feet or socks, but I do recommend if you have ballet shoes that fit you, that's what you do. I'm obviously here in the studio on our normal dance floor, but if you're at home, you can try to find a space for our beginning stretching section that has a little bit of carpeting, so you're going to be on the floor, or if you have a towel or a yoga mat, something you can put down, that works as well. But if you're comfortable just sitting on the floor, that's totally fine too. So we're gonna go ahead and get started, but what I want to do first is a little bit of a warm-up for you guys, just because we're home, I don't know what your situation is, and I don't want you to go right into anything too quickly. So what we're gonna do is start with a couple of warm-up exercises that are very easy. I just want you to open your feet to a nice wide position. We're gonna begin with our shoulders and our upper body. So your arms are down by your sides. We're going to roll our shoulders up and back. So you're making circles with your shoulders. And we're just gonna do this 8 times. Last 2. Good, take your circle the other way. Big circle all the way around. This is 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. Now your head's going to go down, let your chin drop down towards your chest and stay. Now tip your head back, chin up to the ceiling, all the way back. Take your ear over to your shoulder, stretch your neck to the side, and switch other shoulder all the way around. Now one big circle, drop your head, make a big circle all the way around for your neck. Coming right back down to the middle, and same thing other way. Big circle to the other side, all the way around to the center. Bring your head up. Now 8 big arm circles. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We're gonna make the circles go the other way to the back, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. Good, shake out your legs a little bit, shake out your arms, and all together we're gonna bring our feet together and try for 8 jumping jacks. Ready? All the way up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, shake it out a little bit more, take a nice big deep breath in. Whew, and let it go out. Okay, coming down to the floor. So everybody find a spot on the floor, and we're gonna begin with our normal beginning stretch, just like we would do here in the studio. So who remembers what that one is? Do you guys remember? What do we always start with? Our butterfly stretch, right? So we're coming all the way down to the floor, and we're bringing our feet together here, starting to flap our knees, just like those butterfly wings. So what I want you guys to focus on here is keeping that alignment of your spine. So take a quick minute to check. Are you slouching down with your shoulders, or are you sitting up straight and tall? So that's how we want to be in this position, right? We're gonna stand up as tall as we can, keeping our back really long, and our posture very, very specific. So in ballet, we always talk about posture with this level. I know that it's something you guys hear me talk about all the time, but it's important to sit up straight even when we're just doing our warm-ups and our stretches. So let's start here with a really tall back and stretch our nose all the way down to our toes. Big stretch down. And hold it. And come back up. Good. Same thing to the side. Holding your feet, stretch over to one knee. All the way over. And same thing to the other other side. Make sure that you're still staying on the ground. I don't want you to rock all the way off the floor like this. Keep yourself fully on the ground. Just stretch your head and your shoulders. Okay, one more time. Nice tall spine. And stretch ourselves down to the front, nose to our toes. Good. And come all the way back up. Give your legs a good shake to the front and bring them back in. Fold your feet. Now what we're going to do is point our toes out and then bring them in just like this, but I want you to keep your arms to the sides and try to hold your back nice and tall. So we point our toes and bring them back in. Good. Point our toes out, bring them back in. Point our toes to the center, really strong back, and together one more time. Point our toes out and bring them back in. Good. Give them a good shake. Shake, 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 shake. Good. And check your posture again, sitting up tall, arms to your sides. Let's bring our feet into a flexed and pointed position. So flexing our toes is bringing them up towards the ceiling, right? And pointing is the opposite, all the way down. So we're gonna flex and point down. Flex up and point down. Good work, guys. Keep going as big as you can in each direction. Nice and slow, flexing and pointing. Good. Last one, we flex the toes and point the toes. Now flex those toes and hold a big stretch here. You're gonna reach forward for your toes. See if you can grab them. If not, just hold this stretch right here with your toes flexed. Good job, guys. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Good. Now point those toes all the way down, arms up to that fifth position. Stretching our nose over to our knees. Full stretch down. Good. Hold this stretch right here. See how far down we can get. And come back up again. Flex your toes and take a big flat back stretch forward, reaching for those toes. Again, if you can, pull those toes back towards your nose. Good. Stay right there. Hold that stretch. Keep holding. Keep holding. Good. And point our toes. Arms come all the way up to our fifth position. Round shape and nose down to our knees. Big stretch. We're holding our ankles or our feet. Trying to get our nose down towards our knees. Nice and easy. Keep your knees straight. And roll back up. Okay, guys, shake it out. Shake, shake, shake. Let's move into our letter V stretch. So our straddle stretch. You're not going to open too far, just as far as is comfortable for you, so you feel a little bit of a stretch, but you're not in any kind of pain, right? Your knees, double check that your knees are pointing up to the ceiling here and not rolling in towards the front of you. That's a really bad feeling and can hurt your knees. So we're going to try to keep our knees throughout this whole exercise, knees up to the ceiling, okay? So bring your arms into that nice first position across from the belly button, sitting up tall in your spine, open to second, and reach from there up and over, like we're drawing that rainbow shape with your upper hand all the way to the side. Good job, guys. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Now pull a little farther, like someone grabs you by the hand and you're going to pull you to the side. Pull, 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 and come all the way back up to second position. Good, and same thing, other side, up and over towards your toes. Good, so feel that stretch along your side. Now imagine someone comes over, grabs you by the hand, and they're going to pull you to that side even bigger. Pull, 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 and come back up. Good. Double check now that our legs are flat to the floor. We're not going to move our legs, just our hands, and start to walk our hands forward all the way out for that big straddle stretch. So I want you to take really big, deep breaths as you hold your stretch. And then try to go just a little bigger. Hold that stretch a little bit further to the front. Inch your toes or your fingertips forward. Try to go a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger. And walk your hands back in. Good work. Okay, shake your legs back together. Shake them all down. Good. And we're going to roll onto our stomach. To work our back, we stretch our spine and we try to strengthen our spine, right? So pressing down for our first stretch, our legs are right together behind me. And my feet are on the floor. I'm going to press down on the floor, reach my back up, and then try to tip our head back towards our toes. Really pressing down through the floor with straight elbows. Your shoulders are down away from your ears, and come back down. Good. Now reach those arms out to the front. We're going to take those Supergirl flies and reach up. Hands and feet off the floor. Bring your arms to the side. Hold that position. Good. And one more time to the front. Stay. little bigger, and come back down. Let's take another stretch, hands under our shoulders, press down and reach up. Head goes to the back. Really press back towards the direction of your feet and slowly come back down. Good. Again, reach those arms out, everything up off the floor, hold it. Good work, guys, strong backs. And bring your arms to the side. Good job. One more time, back to the front. And try to go a little bigger, lift your hands and feet even higher, and come back down. Okay. Now our last stretch is the biggest one. We bring our toes up. Imagine like a mermaid tail, and we're going to press through the floor, reach up, and back with our head. See how close you can get your toes towards touching your head. Really stretch, 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 and come back down. Good work. Now bring your feet back together. We're gonna sit all the way up and back onto our heels like this. So I'm gonna stretch my arms out to the front, forehead down to the floor. Again, just nice deep breaths in the stretch. A couple times. And roll yourself all the way back up. Okay, good work. I'm gonna turn around and face you again. And first things first, let's talk about our arm positions. So what I'm going to do is come all the way up onto my two knees and just find that alignment from your shoulders, your hips, your knees. We're in one nice straight line, keeping our back as tall as we can be, really holding your tummy nice and tall. So from here, we talked about this preparation position where it looks like we're holding a big round egg and we're holding our arms down in front of us. Now to go into first position arms, we lift our arms right to the front, keeping that circle shape, and keep our hands right about across from our belly button. You don't want to go too high or keep our arms too low. Right here across from our belly button is great. So to do our second position, what do we do with our hands? Remember, we open right to the sides, and watch that as we do this, your second position arms shouldn't go behind your back. That's too big, right? Just a little bit in front of your shoulders so that you're taking your rounded first position from your circle, keeping your arms round as we do this, opening to second. Good. Now in order to come to third, one of those arms has to come back in to first position. So we have one in front of our belly button, one to the side. Fourth position, take those arms all the way up. Good, and nice high fifth position. Work. Open those arms all the way up to the ceiling and softly come back down. Let's try through that one more time. First position, open second. Good, and bring the other arm into third. Now that third position arm goes up to fourth, right above your head, all the way up to fifth. Good work, and lift from the top, coming all the way back down softly. Very good. Now bring one knee to the front. I want you to watch that your toes are open to the sides instead of inward like this. Our toe and our knee are pointing away. Good. Now bring those arms through first to second, and we're going to reach up and over our leg. Imagine you're gathering a big pile of maybe flower petals. If it's still snowing where you are, maybe some snow, lift up and open. Good. And same thing, other side. Bring your knees back together. Let's take our other foot forward and double check knee and toe are pointing sideways, not inward, sideways. Good. And bring our arms to first and second. Big up and over stretch down. Using our arms to pull through first all the way up to fifth and lift at the top. Good. Let our arms fall down softly. And from here, stand all the way back up to our feet and shake it out. Shake out your legs, shake out your arms. Good. So we can talk now about our feet positions. So the position we usually start in is first, right? So we have our heels touching and our toes open away from each other. In first position, I want you to check that your big toe, your pinky toe, and your heel are all very flat to the floor. So you don't want to have any point of your foot coming up. Your feet are glued down flat to the floor. So from here in our first position, we open to the side to get to our second position, right? So our toes are still open sideways. We're still using our turnout in our hips. Instead of turning in, we're turning out. And then third position, who remembers that one? We move our foot to cross in front, right? So it's very similar to first, but instead one heel will cross in front of your other foot. So if you have ballet shoes on, what you can do is look down at your feet and your front foot, that heel should be right about where your strap is on your other shoe. So you're crossing your foot halfway in front. I can still see both toes, right? So let's go back to first and move the other foot in to third position, crossing in front. Third position, good. Good, and come back into first. Very good. So we're working from first, we're working in second, and in third. So in third position, we could have either foot in front, crossing halfway, right? So what you want to be careful for here is that we don't have a big gap between our legs here, right? We don't want to pop and have an open space. When we cross our heel in front for third position, our legs are glued together and our knees are very straight. Same thing with the other foot. You want to watch out that you don't pop your knee and have a bent knee so you have a big space between your feet and your legs. You're going to close those legs together like they're super gluing your knees, right? So now your legs are glued right tight towards each other. So let's start with some pliés and tendus first here, and grab a quick drink if you need to, okay guys? Okay dancers, so we're gonna start with our warm-up, standing up. We're gonna begin here in sixth position. So what I want you to do is bring your feet together and our toes are touching, heels are touching, we're in sixth position, right? So what we're gonna do here to begin is work on our turnout and work on warming up our hips a little bit more. So we take our hands right to our hips and keep our back really tall and strong as we do this exercise. So we're going to begin with our toes opening and closing. First, sixth, first, sixth, first, sixth. So we do this 4 times. Then we take one plie in sixth position, one releve, one more plie, and turn out our feet to first. Now we're going to repeat that same thing we did in the beginning. Closing, opening, closing, opening. 4 times, using our hips, and demi-plie 1. Stretch, releve, come down, plie, and stretch. This time we stay in first. So we're going to work on our placement and our tendu. So we take one tendu, lower second, tendu, close first, demi, and stretch, releve, come down. Repeat left side, second, and close first, 1 plie, and 1 releve. We'll repeat that again. So tendu to second and back to first. 1 plie center and releve, come down. Left side for that second time, and close, demi, plie, releve, come down. From there, we're going to finish with sixth position, 8 quick releves. So you're going to come up to the toes, keeping the knees straight, 8 times, all together, and we'll go 5, we'll go 6, 7, and 8. Nice and slow. Finish with a demi-plie, stretching out your legs, and to straight. As we finish our set, bring our arms down to that closing position we've been talking about, working on. So as we do this, dancers, double check that your belly button is into your spine, right? We talked about this in class. You don't want to suck your stomach in, and in that way you can't breathe. If you can't breathe, you can't dance. So it's more of a pinching feeling that we should feel our belly button and our spine pinching towards each other in the center, and that will help us hold our balance and keep our back a little bit taller and stronger, right? So we're feeling a pinch from the belly button to the spine. We're not sucking in our tummies. So let's all begin this with our sixth position, and I'll do this with you. Take your hands right to your hips and double check your posture before we start. Shoulders down, chin up, standing nice and tall. Alrighty, here we go. Turning out first and close. First and close. 2 more. Open, close. Open, close. Demi-plie. Stretch, releve, lift. Good. Again, plie. Now turn out. First position. Open those toes. Good. Close and open. Close and open. 2 more. Close and open. Good job. Finishing first. Open. Demi-plie. Stretch. Releve. Come down. Good. Keep those knees over your toes and stay. Right foot tendu. Open. Second. Back to first. Demi-plie. Good. Releve. Lift up. Come down. Same thing. Left foot. Second position and close first. Demi-plie, stretch. Releve, come down. Again, right leg, second, point, close. Good. Demi-plie in the center. Releve. Last time, left foot, one. Close second, and back to first. Demi-plie, stretch. Releve, come down. Good. Sixth position, releve, and lower. 8 times. Good. This is 3 up and down. Just lifting and lowering my heels. Keep my knees very straight. Belly button to your spine. Back is tall. Good job. Last 2. And demi-plie, nice and slow. Stretch it out. And back to the center. Always finish with our arms down. Double checking your posture. Chin lifted. Neck nice and long. And open. Good. Shake everything out. Big deep breath in. Whew. Good. And we'll come back for another Tendu exercise, a little bit more difficult. Okay guys, so we're going to move into a little bit of a more challenging Tendu combination. And what I want you to really remember about Tendu is the way that our heels are trying to face, right? We talked about this a little bit in class, but when we're in first position and we take our Tendu to the front, should my heel look up to the ceiling like this, or should it look down to the floor? Up to the ceiling, right? So that your heel is looking up instead of down. When we take our Tendus to the side, what about my heel? Is it facing down to the floor like this, or is my heel facing behind me? Not behind me, right? You want your heel to look down towards the ground so you feel your hip turn out. What about to the back? That's a little bit more challenging. So when we go to the back, we take our Tendu behind us. You should have your heel up to the ceiling, pointing up like this, or pointing to the other side of you. Other side, right? We've talked about pointing our heel sideways rather than up to the top. So we're going to do this Tendu combination in all 3 directions, using the front, the side, and the back, and we'll give it a go, okay? So we're starting with our first position, our hands on our hips. Heels touching, toes are open. We're going to take 1 slow Tendu to the front, right leg, and close. Then 2 quicker Tendus, 1 and 2. Same thing to the side, nice and slow. Close it back to first, quicker 1 and quicker 2. Then try the same thing on the left foot. So 1 slow Tendu front, close your first, quicker once and quicker twice. To the side, 1 slow Tendu, close it first, 1 and a close, quicker 2 and close. When we take this next one to the back, we're just going to do slowly. So 1 to the right side, slowly to the back, finish demi, plie, and releve, come down. Same thing to the left, 1 slow Tendu, demi, plie, and a releve, down. We'll finish with our arms first and second, and all the way up to 5th, lift from the top, coming all the way back down. We're going to find our first, take a little bit of a press to releve, and just give yourself a little bit of a challenge for that balance, right? So you pick something in front of you with your eyes that's not moving, try to focus on it as you lift, and as you plie, stretch. Good job. So shake out those legs. Again, I'm going to do this with you. Your pattern is 1 slow Tendu, 2 quicker Tendus, starting with your right side to the front, then we go to the side. Same thing on the left, to the front, then we go left foot to the side. We finish with those slow Tendus to the back, 1 slow with your plie and your releve, and then other side, 1 slow Tendu back, really focusing on getting your toe behind you. Alrighty guys, then we'll do our arms. Work on our port de bras, using that really graceful, strong presence arms that we've been working on in class, and finish with a little balance. So let's start in that first position. Everybody find your first, and we'll get our music going here. Again, check your posture, making sure you're standing up nice and tall, shoulders down, away from your ears. Good, hands on our hips. 1 to the front with that right foot, slowly, good. Quicker 1, and quicker 2. Right foot goes side, slow, and close. Quicker 1, and quicker 2. Good, to the left. 1, slow, and close. To the front, 2 quicker your tendus. Good, to the side. One, slow, and close. One, and two. Now right leg goes back. One slow tendu. Close first. Demi-plie. Stretch. Releve. Same thing, other side. One slow tendu on your left leg. And demi-plie. Releve. Good. Now to those arms first. Open second. High fifth position and reach all the way up. Opening those arms softly. Good. Bring them into first. Find your thing that's not moving. Hold your balance. Releve, lift. Good. Try to stay as long as you can. Finish with demi-plie through your heels and stay. Finish that step nice and strong. Good job, guys. Shake it out. Shake, shake, shake. Big deep breath in. Woo. Okay, good work, good work. Now to finish this little bit of a section here in the center before we work on our passes, we are going to talk about our dégages, and what I want you to remember with dégagé is it's very easy because it's really just like a tendu, right? You don't have to overthink it. A dégagé is just a tendu that instead of stopping on the floor, it lifts up off the floor, right? So the pattern we have been working on in class to try to build up our dégagés and make them nice and strong is focusing on, from first position, a point, lift, point, and close pattern. Point, lift, point, and close, right? So as we do this in class, what we're going to do today is just the front direction and the side direction. We're not doing any dégagés to the back. We're not quite there yet. So we have our hands on our hips again, tall backs, belly button into your spine, and our chin is lifted. We take one tendu front, lift dégagé, back to tendu, and close first. Tendu side, dégagé, tendu, close first. Same thing, left foot, up, and close first, to the side, lift, and we'll repeat the whole thing. Same thing on the right, taking that pattern, point, lift, point, and close the left foot front, up, and close, left foot side, lift, and close, right? We'll finish with our demi-plie and bringing our arms down. This one is all about control, and remember that our balance and our control comes from our what? In ballet or in dance in general, where does it come from? Our core, right? Your belly button to your spine. Imagine you're a whole big tree. You've got your branches, your limbs as your arms. The tree stays stable by having a really strong trunk, right? So your core is your trunk of your tree, yet belly button to your spine, really pinching, feeling, and keeping the back as tall as you can will help you balance as opposed to being slouchy and really letting yourself go like a spaghetti noodle, right? You want to make sure that you're really, really strong and emulating that tree trunk that keeps the tree very stable and strong. So let's find our first position. We have point, lift, point, and close, and that's it. We'll use the same music. So making sure that you guys have your hands on your hips. To start with our chin lifted. Standing up as tall as we can be. Right foot, tendu front, dégagé, tendu, and close. Side, lift, and close to the left. Front, up, down, and first. Good. Point, lift, point, and first. Right foot again. Lift, point, and close to the side. Lift, point, and close to the left leg. Front, good. One more to the side. Good job, and finish demi-plie. Stretch it out, arms come down. Good work, guys. Okay, shake it out. Shake it out. We're gonna get ready for our passe walks. Keep working on that balance. Okay, guys, so our passe. Who remembers what passe is? What does it look like? Give me an example. What is a passe? Can you show me? A passe is when we touch our toe to our ankle? No, to our knee, right? So a passe, the toe of one leg comes up to the knee of the other leg, and your passe knee should be open in ballet class, right? So when you bring that leg up, your knee goes to the side. We don't want our knee coming into the front, right? We talked about this. This is jazz class. Ballet ballet, we keep our knees open. So in order to have a really strong, balanced passe, there are a couple things we talk about, and it starts with our placement of our upper body. So if we're in a first position, you think about touching your shoulders. Good, tap your shoulders, now tap your hips. Good, again, tap your shoulders, and tap your hips. Good. Now if your shoulders are not right on top of your hips so that you make this nice rectangle shape, you will lose that balance when you lift your leg off the floor. So if your shoulders are one side or the other too much, or if they're too far forward or back behind you, you won't be able to balance. It's important to keep your rectangle shape, shoulders and hips, right? So if we practice just one single passe at a time, what we can do is bring our fingertips up to our shoulders. Watch that our elbows stay lifted and strong right across from each other, not droopy and sad, right? So try to take this now, maintaining, holding onto that rectangle shape. Don't lose it. Try to lift your right leg up to passe. Good. Think about pinching that belly button to your spine and come back down to first. Good. Now again, keep that rectangle shape that we just talked about right in place and lift your other leg toe to knee passe. Again, pinch that belly button to your spine and close first. Good, right? So if we take that now and you try to do one of the bad ones, is bringing your fingertips up to your shoulders and then find your passe with your elbows, your shoulders tilting a little bit, right? We can't balance. Try the same thing on the other side. Bring your shoulders a little forward and then bring your foot up to passe, right? Try to lean back. It doesn't work, okay, right? So we talked about this rectangle and it has to stay there. Shoulders right on top of your hips as we do this. So what I'm going to do today is actually back up a little bit towards the back of the studio here, the bars, and we're going to walk forward like we normally would in class. So what I want you guys to do is find a little bit of space where you can walk forward, back yourself up, and we're going to take 8 passe walks. What we do here to begin is turn out our feet to first position, bring our fingertips up to our shoulders as we start, right? So we're beginning here with our arms down, 5, 6, we go to first, 7, 8, we touch our shoulders. So as we do that, I want you to take one step and one passe. I'm going to try to begin on my right foot, so I step on my right foot toe heel and passe lift, then left foot toe heel, passe lift, but we're going to do both sides, so if you start on the wrong leg, it's okay. All right, and we're going to count to 8. So this is 1, up, 2, up. So we take 8 passe walks. You don't have to take really big steps forward. It's just about putting your foot down and lifting the other leg. Putting your foot down and lifting your other leg. So small steps is fine. So everybody back on up. Find your first position. And arms are down again in that preparation position. We're holding that big round egg shape right down here. Good. So check your posture. Belly button to your spine for the balance. Shoulders on top of your hips. Good. Now bring your fingers to your shoulders. Good. Step front, passe lift. Good. Step front, passe lift. This is 3 and up. 4, up. Good. Again, 5. Passe. 6. Bring that knee right to the side. And 7. Up. And 8. Up. Good job. Finish first position, arms down, demi-plie. Stretch it out and bring it back in first. Now let's try that one more time. So shake out those legs and back yourself all the way back up. Good. Come back to that first position. Find your rectangle. Shoulders on top of your hips. Good. Arms are down and held. Now bring those arms. First position. Fingertips up to your shoulders. Good. Step 1 and passe lift. Step 2 and passe lift. Good. Step. Knee side. And step. Knee side. Hold that belly button to your spine. Nice strong middle. Hold your balance. Good work. Last 2. Passe. And step. Passe. Good job. Finish your first position. Plie. And stretch. Okay, good work. Shake it out. Shake your arms. Take that big deep breath in. And we'll finish our center here with Grande battement. Alrighty, so Grande battement. This is something that we do in jazz, we do in ballet, but it doesn't quite look the same in each class, right? So when we take our Grande battement in ballet class, what does that mean? What does Grande battement mean? Right, the really simple term that we talked about. Grande is what? Big or small? Big, right? And battement is a kick. So Grande battement, big kick. Really, that's what it means. That's what it looks like, that's what it means, essentially. So what I want you guys to think about here is a big kick, but a controlled big kick, right? That's the difference between ballet and a lot of other things. We have to control our movements, maintain and keep our posture and our arms steady, watching out that we don't tilt, twist, and bob all around. So in this direction that we've been working on, just the front so far, for my primary B dancers, we know that we can do Grande battement to the side and we can do them to the back, but we haven't gotten there yet. We're just doing the front direction. So just like our dégages, our pattern of Grande battement movement is point, kick, point, close, right? Just like dégage, where we did point, lift, point, and close, but this one is bigger. So we want to make sure of a couple things as we go here, and I'm going to turn to the side so you guys can see what I mean. As you kick, double check that your posture, your back stays as tall as it was before. You don't want to take a kick and lose it going here, right? You crunch down. That's the opposite of what we want to do. I don't care how high your leg is. It doesn't matter yet, alrighty? You see the big girls that do their huge Grande battements and they have their really high extensions. That's because they focus on their control first. They don't just go for that big high kick, because what you'll do is twist your hips, arch your back, round your back, you'll get all out of place. So we're focusing on maintaining our rectangle shape, shoulders and hips, and keeping that rectangle as tall as we can as we do this. So what we're going to do is, again, walk forward, just like we did with our passes, and we'll do this 6 times. So what I do is my same preparation arms, I take them to first, I take them to my shoulders. Watching your elbows, keep them lifted, right? So we start with our right leg, point front, and kick, and point, then step to first. Other leg goes point, and kick, and point, step to first. Same thing again, we have point, and kick, and point, step to first. So I'm doing a bigger kick, but I'm not losing my back in order to do it, right? The back, that tall back comes first. So we're gonna go back all together. We'll try 6 of these, changing sides as we go, and then we'll do the same thing we did before, finish with our demi-plie, stretch, and back ourselves up so we can try 6 more. Alrighty, so everybody back up. Find your first position. Start with those heels touching together, arms down and rounded. Shoulders are down away from your ears, belly button to your spine, and when the music starts, we'll begin with that arms first, arms to the shoulders. Alrighty? So keep that chin lifted, look forward right at me. I want you to make sure you keep your chin up, okay? Arms first to your shoulders. Point and kick, and point, step to first. Good, point and kick, and point, step to first. Again, point, front, kick, and point, step to first position. Point and kick, and point, step to first. Last 2, 1, and up, and point, step to first. Last one here. Good, and close, first plie, and stretch. Good, let's back up. Quick. First position, arms go first to your shoulders. Again, tendu front, kick, and tendu step to first. A point, and kick, and point. Good, watch your back, stay tall. Up, belly button to your spine the whole time. Keep your rectangle very tall. Good, last ones, point, kick, and point, step to first. A point, and kick, and point, step to first. Finish arms down, plie. Good work, everybody. Stand tall and shake it out. Hands and feet, big deep breath in. Good work, one more time. Good job, everybody. Okay, we'll go on from here. Okay, everybody, so working on a little bit more movement. What we're gonna try today is chasses to the side direction. So as we progress through these classes online through YouTube, or if you find it on Facebook, however you find this class, we're gonna try to focus on different things each week. So this week, what we're going to try to work on is our chasses in the side direction. Okay, then our skips, going in circles, kind of like what we do in class, and we'll end with some arabesque work today. So what we'll do the next time then is focus on some smaller jumps and grande, our big leaps, and we'll keep going from there. So for our chasses in the side direction, what I want you to try today is actually using your arms in second position. And normally in class, what we've been practicing is hands on our hips as we go, but let's give it a little bit more here. And if you have a skirt, you can totally hold your skirt. Sometimes we do that in class, but I think that today, let's give a try to hold our arms in second position. So what I'm gonna do is start to the side, and we're gonna take 4 chasses going each way. So these are the horse gallop steps that we've been talking about, galloping down, galloping back, and they look just like this as we go to the side direction, alrighty? So I'm gonna move over to the left side and point my right toe so that I can move to the right direction. Okay, so as we begin, my arms are going to open to second. We're gonna take 4 chasses, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and step to point my other toe as my arms come up and open. Then I can take, I'm already ready to go, I can take those 4 chasses to the left. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and step, point my right toe again, just like the beginning. Chasses to the right, 3 and 4, and step, point your left toe, reach up and open. Same thing again, to the left, 3 and 4, and step. This time finish our first position. So what we're gonna do today is try this twice all the way through without stopping. So we start to the right, we go to the left, we'll go again to the right, and again to the left. So this arm coordination is something kind of new, that is something fun we can try at home to finish with coordinating our arm movement to come back to it. Alrighty? So all I'm doing after I finish my 4 chasses is taking a step to point, and as I do that, I step, bring my arms through the middle, up to 5th, open to 2nd. Alrighty? So let's give this a try all together. I want you to try it with me. If you need to take a minute and watch this first, go ahead, then press rewind and come back and do it with me. But if you want to go for it right now, let's go for it right now. So I'm going to start with my right foot pointed, just like we normally would do in class. Alrighty? So bring your right foot to the side, tendu, arms open, 2nd. And chasse, 2, 3, 4, step, point, arms up, and open 2nd. Good, left, 2, 3, 4, and point my right toe, arms up, open 2nd, and right, again, 3, 4, step to point, arms up, and open, good, left, 2, 3, 4, this one, open and finish first. Good job, close it nice and strong. Very good work, guys. Okay, good. Check out those legs, and we'll move on to our skips. So what I want you guys to try for this one is grab, of course we're in the studio, so I can grab my cone like we normally would here. But you guys can grab anything that is small like this. I would say if you have a stuffed animal, that works really great. Or you can even use sweatshirt. You can even, take a remote control, anything that you can put down on the ground that you can skip around, like we do in class with our cones. So what I'm gonna do is right in the middle of my space, I'm gonna put this cone down, right in the center. And then as I do this, I'm gonna do it just like we would do in class so you guys can practice the same thing at home. And I know you all remember. We begin here with our feet together, and we're really working on those ballet skips, right? So what I mean by that is keeping our hands on our hips, our chin lifted, holding that nice upper body posture, and as we skip, pointing our toes with some high knees. So as we skip, we don't want to flop our knees and our toes all the way around. You're going to step and skip, point our toes, and as we go through this whole thing, point those toes. So we're gonna back up, and what I'm gonna do is skip towards my cone, make a circle just once, and then keep going. Just like we do in class. So we take our skips to the cone, around in one circle, all the way around to your cone, and keep going to the other side. Alrighty, we'll shake our legs out here, shake our hands out, and come back to our feet together, sixth position, take the exact same thing going the other way. Okay, everybody? So I'm gonna move this back just a little bit so you guys can see a little bit more of what I'm doing. And we'll start right from here. So everybody head to the left side, and let's put our feet together, sixth position. Okay, dancers, so my hands are on my hips. I'm going to back all the way up away from my cone. Sixth position, feet together. Now chin up, skipping pointing toes. Ready? Up, 2, 3, 4. Skip all around that cone, whatever you're using at home, and keep going. All the way down the rest of the way. Good work. Now shake it all out when we're done. Shake out hands and feet. Good, big deep breath in. And let it go. Let's try the same thing on the other side. So back up away from your cone. We're gonna go from the other direction now. So sixth position, feet together, hands on our hips, chin up, and step hop. Point those toes, and skip all the way around that object. Good, finish right back where you started in the beginning. Okay, good, guys, shake it out. Shake out those hands and feet, big deep breath in, and let it go, good work. Okay, we'll come back for Arabesque. Okay guys, so we're gonna finish our class today with an Arabesque sequence that we practice in class using the bar. So if you're at home, you guys can use a kitchen counter, dining room table, the back of a chair, the back of a couch is great. So when I do this at home, what I usually do is grab myself one of my dining room chairs that I can move easily, and then move it into a space where I have a little bit of space to move and run. So in my living room, what I do is I back up my couches and my chairs, I put my dining room table chair right there in the middle of my living room so that I have all that space to use. But you can use any countertop or whatever works for you at home as a bar. If you have a bar at home, then you're really lucky, that's awesome. I don't have a bar at home, but maybe I should bring one of these home so we can do this at home too. And what I'm gonna have you guys do today is the exact same thing we've been practicing in class. We're going to begin, go ahead and face your bar, whatever you're using, and back yourself up quite a bit because we're gonna work on those ballet runs as well. So in ballet class, we talk about the way that we run, the way that we walk, the way that we place ourselves is very different from anything else you might do, right? You don't run in soccer or basketball the way you would run in a ballet class. We keep our heels lifted off the floor, and as we run, we try to keep our feet smaller than we would normally. You're not taking huge steps. These are small, quick runs all the way towards the bar. So if you're at home and you have your skirt on, I would like you to grab your skirt as we do this. So we're starting over away from the bar to the side in our first position. You can grab your skirt, releve, lift up to those toes, find your runs all the way down. But if you don't have a skirt on at home, I would say the best thing you can do is just keep your arms low as if you're holding your skirt. So get that practice in your head even if you don't actually have a skirt on right now. So we're in our first position, we come up to those toes, we take our runs, little feet all the way down to the bar, and we finish two hands on our bar, whatever we're using, in first position. We're gonna start with one tendu back, right behind you, lift up from there to Arabesque, holding that leg straight behind you. Work on keeping your shoulders lifted, you're not a teeter-totter, remember? Keep your shoulders up, and before we close, touch the floor, tendu, close. We'll take the same thing on the other side, tendu to the back, point, and lift up, hold that Arabesque, stay, and point to close. We always finish with practicing coming off the bar, right? So when we finish our both Arabesques, we finish our arms down. So we're going to place our arms in that big round egg position, off the bar, and finish with that head looking over your shoulder towards me. Alrighty? So everybody go ahead and find your bar, whatever you're going to use. Let's back away from it. Come into that first position. And if you have a skirt, go ahead and grab it. If you don't, just pretend, right? So we're keeping our chin lifted. Find that belly button to spine, nice tall back. Good, lift up to those toes and take your ballet runs all the way down. And finish with a first position. Place your heels down, 2 hands on the bar. Remember that our elbows need to be in front of us, okay? Don't bring your elbows behind your back. Nice and strong arms. We take our right foot back, point your toe. Keep those shoulders up as you arabesque lift. Good work, guys. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Good, as long as you can, try to stay there, and touch the floor. Point back to Tendu, close first. Good, try the same thing other side. Now point that toe to the back. Lift your left leg up, arabesque. Try to hold it without moving your shoulders too much. Stay. And point down to the floor. Close your first position, arms off the bar. Turn your head and look at me. Good. Very nice. Okay, shake it all out. Shake your hands and your legs. Now, if you want to try and practice your arabesques one more time, you're more than welcome to. I would say ask mom or dad, whoever's there with you, just to press pause here and go ahead and rewind the video to the beginning of the arabesque section and try those arabesques one more time at home. Alrighty, it's a good thing to practice. We can really build strength in our back that way. So when we come back to the studio, we're ready to go. So right now, what we're going to do is just finish with some reverence. And as we mentioned in class, our reverence is something we always finish our class with to kind of say thank you to ourselves for dancing well, to our teachers for being with us, to our classmates for dancing with us. And we take our bow, we take our final stretch. So everybody come back to the center. I want you to find your first position. Heels touching, toes open. Great. Keep that posture tall. Arms are down and held. We take slow demi-plie, arms open, and stretch. Again, plie. And stretch. Good. Full quarter rotate. The arms first. Open them to second. All the way up to fifth. And lift open up at the top. Come down. Good. Arms back into first. Let's try a releve. Lift up with those heels. Good. Open arms to second and plie down. Good. Bring those toes back towards the front. Sixth position. Reach up. And big stretch all the way down. Let your head go down. Bring your arms towards the floor. Now plie. Bend your knees. Roll up to the top. Take your feet a little bit bigger. My toes are still pointing forward. Reach up. And big stretch down. One more time, let your head go down, hands to the floor. And bend your knees, roll through your back to come all the way up. Good, find that first position. Very good, turn out the toes. Now for my ladies, we're gonna begin first with our bows. So you're going to take one step to the side, hold your skirt. Step, put that toe back behind you, curtsy down. Good, same thing, other side, step. Put that other foot behind, point your toe, curtsy down. Good job. Now for my gentlemen, feet together. Take one step to the side, first position, arm comes up and open, hand over your heart. Good, same thing to the other side. Step together, arm up and open to your bow. Okay guys, good work. Let's clap for each other. That was an awesome class you guys did today. I'm so proud of you for working at home, and I want to remind you to still do these activities just like you would in the studio. If you come here once a week for your ballet class, you should do this once a week. If you get bored, you want to do it some more, do it as many times a week as you want, but at least once a week just like you normally would, okay? Now in 2 more weeks, we'll have another video for you guys. So we're producing videos now every other week. You'll have new content, but I still again want you to do these videos at least once a week, okay? So you'll do this week, you'll do it again next week. I'm so proud of you guys again for being strong at home, and we miss you so much. We love you guys. I hope you're staying healthy and staying safe and staying active, alrighty? We'll be together soon, and I just know we'll come out of this really strong. Love you guys.